Hi, Level 2. It's me again. This is just an extra video on the grammar. If you want to do this video, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. It's just extra work. Okay, so if you want to watch this video, I will go through the grammar with you. Okay, our grammar is on comparatives and comparative adjectives and comparative adverbs. Okay, just give me a second while I share my screen with you. Okay, it's coming. Right, okay, so I'll go through the grammar first and then we can do some exercises in the back of the book in the grammar bank. But first of all, let's have a look at our grammar, comparative adjectives and adverbs. Don't forget, you can pause the video at any time if you want to copy something down into your notebooks. Okay, adjectives and adverbs that have one syllable, we add ER to make the comparative. For example, big, just add ER, bigger. Well, double the G and add ER, bigger. Bigger than. Auckland is bigger than Dunedin. Short only has one syllable, so we add ER, shorter. Shorter than. The man in this picture is shorter than the woman. She is very tall. There are a few irregular adjectives. Good, the comparative of good is better. Completely different word. So good, better, better than. Chocolate is better than ice cream. Bad, the comparative of bad is worse. Worse than. The weather today is worse than it was yesterday. Far, further, further than. Dunedin is further from Auckland than Christchurch. So, these are the irregular adjectives. Good, better. Bad, worse. Far, further. Okay, now adjectives with two syllables that end in Y. For example, noisy. Two syllables and it ends in Y. Noisy. If it ends in Y with two syllables, you change the Y to I and add ER. So noisy becomes noisier. Noisier than. Busy. Two syllables and it ends in Y. So we change the Y to I and add ER. Busier. Busier than. Auckland is busier and noisier than Christchurch. Adjectives that don't end in Y and have two or more syllables. For example, beautiful. Beautiful has 3 syllables. So to form the comparative, we put more before beautiful. More beautiful. More beautiful than. Auckland is more beautiful than Brisbane. Boring. 2 syllables. Boring. To make the comparative, we put more. More boring. More boring than. Lockdown is more boring than normal life. Exciting. 3 syllables. Exciting. So to make the comparative, we put more in front of it. More exciting. More exciting than. Living in a city is more exciting than living in the countryside. Crowded. 2 syllables, but it does not end in Y. So more crowded. More crowded than. The city is more crowded than the countryside. Unfortunately, there are always exceptions in English. It's frustrating, but true. One exception to the rules is stressed. Stressed is 1 syllable. I feel stressed. The comparative is more stressed. Even though there's only 1 syllable, we say more stressed. She is more stressed today than she was yesterday. Okay. Now, adverbs, most adverbs end in ly. So usually what we do is add more before the adverb. So, for example, slowly. More slowly. She walks more slowly than me. Quickly. More quickly. She speaks more quickly than me. And we can also use, if we're comparing 2 things, we can use not as, not as, plus the adjective, and then as. For example, not as noisy as. The countryside is not as noisy as the city. This means the same as quieter than. The countryside is quieter than the city. Which also means the city is noisier than the countryside. So, confusing, I know, but there are 3 different ways to say the same thing. So, let's have another look at another example of not as, adjective, as. Okay, remember this picture? The man is shorter than the woman. The woman is taller than the man. So how can we say this with not as, adjective, as? Not as tall as. So the man is not as tall as the woman. The man is shorter than the woman. The woman is taller, definitely, than the man. Okay, let's have a look at this picture. So we've got two horses, a black horse and a brown and white horse. So, not as big as. Which horse is not as big as? The brown and white horse. The brown and white horse is not as big as the black horse. Let's have a look at that again. The brown and white horse is not as big as the black horse. So what's another way of saying that? What would we say if it was bigger? The black horse is bigger than the brown and white horse. Smaller. Which one is smaller? The brown and white horse is smaller than the black horse. Can you remember? How do we say it with not as? As. Not as big as. Yes, that's right. The brown and white horse is not as big as the black horse. Okay, another example with boots. This is the boot on the left. This is the boot on the right. This one is dirty. Yes, dirty. This one is clean. So if we use not as, what sentence can we make? The boot on the left is not as dirty as the boot on the right. Let's have a look at that sentence. Or we can say the boot on the right, is not as clean as the boot on the left. Which one is dirtier? The boot on the left. The boot on the left is dirtier than the boot on the right. No. Sorry, confusing. Sorry. The boot on the right is dirtier than the boot on the left. The boot on the left is cleaner than the boot on the right. Okay, guys. So now, if you need to, you can play that video again and make notes. Then have a look at the exercises in the grammar bank. The exercises in the grammar bank are on page 134 in your student book. So, if you have a look at the example here, expensive. How many syllables are there in expensive? Expensive. 3. That's right, 3. So what do we do with adjectives with 3 syllables? Yep, we put more in front of them. So more expensive than. New York is more expensive than Miami. Okay. Auckland. Auckland is more expensive than Brisbane. What about your city? Is your city more expensive than Auckland? Okay, and let's do number 1 together as well. Fast. Modern computers are much the early ones. Fast, 1 syllable. So what do? Yep, we add ER, faster. And we need than, faster than. So modern computers are much faster than the early ones. True. Okay, guys, so continue, have a look at the other examples, exercises, and when you have finished those A and B, there's also one more exercise for grammar in your student books on page 37. 37. So let's have a look. Let's see if I can make it bigger. Yes, here we go. Right, good. So, exercise 2 on page 37. So, in A, which of these words is an adverb? Which one is an adjective? So, going through the words. Quickly, fast, busy, patient, bad, slowly, and stressed. So, write down whether it is an adjective or an adverb. Then, in exercise B, you have to circle the correct form or tick if both are correct. So, for example, number 1, life is faster or more fast than before. In this one, there is only one that is correct. Fast. How many syllables does fast have? 1. So we only need to add ER. Life is faster than before. Okay, guys, so you can continue doing the other sentences, and on Friday, I will give you the answers to these grammar exercises. Now, let's see if I can get back to the big screen. Yes, hi guys, how are you? I hope you have enjoyed the grammar, the extra grammar exercises. Yeah, so if you have any questions, you can email your teacher, or when we finally finish lockdown, you can ask your teacher when you come back to class. Okay, everybody, bye, and I shall see you on Friday. Okay, have a good day.